What was I gonna do after that? Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki, and today's video I'm going to be doing a Sunday reset. I've got a list of things that I want to get done, specifically some ingredient prepping in the kitchen and then some organizing tasks that are bigger tasks I've kind of been putting off, but I know that they need to get done. So I'm gonna make myself do them today. I'm gonna bring you guys along with me, maybe give you some motivation or inspiration to get something done that you've been putting off, because I procrastinate everything, and I'm sure many of you can relate to that struggle. So getting that motivation is hard sometimes, but just need to get it done. So anyway, if you guys enjoy this video or find it helpful, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And we'll go ahead and head to the kitchen where I'm gonna be doing some ingredient prep. I just wanted to talk in here quickly because I've got my oven preheating and it's kind of loud, but I've got it preheating because I'm going to be making some bacon. I actually found 2 packs of bacon in our fridge, so I'm gonna be making both of them because I'm doing breakfast burritos, and the bacon will be perfect to add into those. And then we'll also have some bacon just prepped in the fridge to add to different recipes throughout the week. So that's one ingredient I'm making. After that, I'm gonna make some creamies. So I have chocolate milk, just chocolate Fairlife, that I love using for creamy recipes. And if you guys don't know what creamies are, the Ninja Creami is an ice cream maker, and it comes with little containers that you put the ingredients into. You freeze them overnight, and then the next day you can spin them, and you could just keep them in your freezer to have whenever, but you spin them into ice cream, and then it's a way to make a lightened up version, or just a version that you know what ingredients are going into your ice cream. That's what I'm gonna make. I think I'm just gonna be doing chocolate milk and pudding powder and maybe protein powder, I don't know, but I also have a Core Power Fairlife that a lot of people have said to use for creamies, and I haven't found them yet. So I finally grabbed a single one, and I'm gonna try it with a creamy recipe. So I'm gonna be making that with some cake batter extract, but I'm gonna prep some of those to pop in the freezer. I'm also gonna make some breakfast burritos with some of the bacon that I'm making. And then the last thing I'm doing is some more breakfast cookies, because I just finished those up. I make them using some shredded zucchini, banana, egg, applesauce. I use flour, whole wheat flour, oats, and some other things. But this time I'm gonna try to add some cocoa powder and see how they are. I've been doubling the recipe, which makes about 40 cookies, and they come out to about 2 points a cookie. They've been such a perfect snack before the gym. I usually just grab 1 or 2 out of the freezer the night before and let it thaw, and then it's ready for me to take before the gym in the morning. So that's what I'm gonna be making in the kitchen today, just to kind of set myself up for success this upcoming week. And then, like I said, I've got some organizing projects that I'll just show you guys as I go. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started in the kitchen and prep some ingredients. Whenever I make bacon ahead of time, I like to just use baking sheets like this with aluminum foil, and then I just lay out the bacon. This time I had a little bit extra. I wanted to keep it on 2 trays, so I did have to overlap it a little, but I usually try to separate it as best as I can, and then I just pop it in the oven to bake. I've heard so many people say that this Fairlife protein shake works so well for creamies, so I finally found an individual container of one, and that's what I'm using to try it out today. So I won't be able to try it till it's frozen, but I just mixed it with some pudding powder, and I did the entire protein shake. I swear, every time I pour this milk, I think it's chunky and it scares me that it went bad, but it's just the bubbles. But I'm just using a measuring cup to measure out 1 cup into each creamy container. And that serving of milk is 6 points on Weight Watchers. Usually Adam and I will split a container, so it'll be a 3-point serving. But I am also adding some PB2 powdered peanut butter into 2 of the containers, and then into all of them, I'm doing 7 grams of sugar-free cheesecake pudding powder. And you can mix them with a spoon or a whisk. I just like to use my handheld mixer because I find it blends them just a little bit better. But I'm finishing these up, and these I just wanted to kind of be more plain, so that's why I'm only doing the milk and pudding powder and some PB2. But it's super easy. Once they're mixed together, I just put on the lids and then I pop them in the freezer. I didn't have many veggies to mix into this today, so I just chopped up a bell pepper and it ended up working perfectly. I usually let the hash browns cook for about 10 minutes before I add the veggies in, and I'll spray a little bit of nonstick olive oil spray to help them cook a little bit. Then I checked on the bacon to see if it needed to be flipped, and it wasn't ready yet, so went back to the hash browns. I'm just cracking the eggs in a bowl because I like to scramble them before I mix them into the hash browns. Once the hash browns and pepper have cooked for about 5 more minutes, then I add in the eggs, and I like to spray a little bit of extra nonstick spray just so they don't stick, but I've mixed them together with the hash browns and let them continue to cook until they're scrambled. Whenever the bacon's done, I like to just take it out and put it onto a plate on some paper towels so that it soaks up all the excess grease. Since the bacon is done, I changed the oven down to 350 degrees for the cookies I'm about to be making, and then I start mashing the bananas to make them. These bananas were not very ripe, so it took a little bit of extra muscle power to get them mashed, but I definitely recommend more ripe bananas if you have them. I made these pretty much the same as I usually do, but this time I wanted to try adding some cocoa powder. So this is a specific dark cocoa powder I have for my cookie business, and I just wanted to try it out. I think next time I might add another tablespoon to add just a little bit more flavor. Whenever I make breakfast burritos, I prefer to use the large tortillas, but Adam likes using these ones, their original ones, which are just 1 point per tortilla. So for these, it's just a point for the tortilla, a point for the piece of bacon that I'm crumbling up on each wrap, and then about a point for the cheese that I used with the potato, egg, and cheese mixture. And usually I'll use a reduced fat shredded cheese for these, but while I was making them, I realized we had like no cheese in our drawer. We just had some slices of a habanero pepper jack from Walmart. So I just crumbled up 2 slices of those and divided between these. It does equal out to like 1 or 2 points of cheese. And every single time I post a video about making wraps, I get questions about how I roll them, and honestly, it's just taken practice. I usually try to get all the ingredients to one side, then I fold in the corners, and just slowly you'll see I'm like pinching in the ingredients as I roll it. But it just takes practice, and you get better as you go. This closet really wasn't super out of control messy, but it was getting there and I didn't want it to just keep getting worse. So I knew just getting it organized and getting a spot for everything would keep it under control, and that's why I'm glad that we got it to it today. So I wanted to start by just emptying everything out first and wiping down the shelves. Even though again, they weren't too bad, this closet wasn't that messy, but it was starting to get there, and so it felt good to get it nice and clean. And I always joke that I can't show this closet in my videos because it has all of our snack review snacks in it that we buy. We just buy them and put them straight in there and then save them up for when we have enough to film a video. So we actually just went to the store and got a bunch of different snacks, and I'm so excited. We've probably got enough to film almost 2 videos, but that's what we had in here today, and that's what we're trying to get back in and organize. So you can kind of get a sneak peek of what's coming with our reviews, but I tried not to show them too much. And I've got a ridiculous amount of Quest salted caramel protein shakes, mostly because I use them a lot. I have them on subscription from Amazon, but I also didn't cancel my subscription soon enough, or I didn't have it spaced out enough, and they just kept shipping. I didn't realize. So I've got plenty of those to last me, and that's what I was putting in this closet as well. And I've just got some other like baking bowls and pans and stuff like that. So felt really good to get this nice and organized. Okay, I got all of the food prepped and the cookies are done and out of the oven. This actually isn't even all of them. There's still some on a tray, but it made a little bit more than 40. I have it set to 40 servings in the Weight Watchers app for the recipe, but this comes out to 2 points a piece. I don't think with the extras that I got, I don't think it makes them go down to 1. So 2 points for each of these. We're gonna go ahead and try one right now. Okay. But I also had some extra hash browns. I decided to make 6 burritos for Adam that he can freeze. And then I have the rest that I can just heat this up. I can either put it in a wrap, or I might even add some extra protein and stuff because I didn't put bacon in this. But anyway, let's go ahead and try these. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, compared to the other ones. Do you taste the cocoa powder?
A little bit, yeah. Honestly, the melted chocolate's always just so good.
Right? Yeah. These are just such a good option before the gym because they're not too sweet. They're the perfect size. And like I said, they just thaw out when I take them out of the freezer overnight.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. I'm gonna go give the dogs a bath and then we're gonna do the garage fridge. So that'll be the last thing we're doing today, but let's go get those dogs clean. I'm so grateful for this shower in our new house because it's so much easier to wash the dogs in it. You can take the shower handle off and actually make sure that they get completely rinsed, and it's nice that you can close the door so they stay in there with you. But both of them get pretty nervous. They both act super good and they were great for their baths, but not happy about them. So we made sure to give them their little pup cup ice creams after, and they were super happy about that. But it really didn't take too long. I just made sure to scrub them down, and then we kept them outside to dry off, and they were really good. This was one of those projects that I just kept putting off. Adam's sister dropped off their old fridge. They're getting a new one and they gave their old one to us. So we wanted to put it in our garage, and it's just been sitting in our garage needing to be plugged in and set up. So we took our old fridge out, which actually this was our original fridge from our last house, and we had switched it to the garage when we bought a new fridge there, and then when we moved we took it with us. But it'll be nice to have this one. This has so much more room and even freezer space for some extra things, even for like my cookie business. But we pretty much just had to get all of our pop and extra things like that out of the fridge. This fridge is mostly meant for pop and some alcohol drinks, although we don't really have much. Every once in a while I like to have a sour, and I have some from a local brewery, so that's what I have in the door. And then these pops, usually we like to go to Mariano's because they'll have a deal that's like buy 2 get 3 free or buy 3 get 2 free, and we'll go and stock up then. So that's what we recently did. My favorite lately has really been Coke Zero. So we've got some Coke Zero Vanilla, some Coke Zero Orange, some Diet Coke. Then I was putting the Dr. Pepper on this shelf, which I realized we had way more of the strawberries and cream than I thought. So anyway, felt really good to get this organized. I've got my extra butter for cookies, my eggs, and then we've got some sparkling waters in the drawers. But nice and organized and spacious, and it's nice that it has a light because our other one didn't. Okay, that wraps up everything that I had on my list for my Sunday reset today. I really didn't want to do the last thing with moving the fridge and stocking up the new one, but I'm so happy that it got done, and it's something that every day I've seen that it needed to be done, and it just gave me more stress to keep putting it off. So it feels good that it's done, it's organized, and now we just need to figure out what to do with the old one. But anyway, I feel good now that I've got some ingredients prepped for the week. I've got some breakfast cookies for before the gym. Adam has his breakfast burritos, and I've got some of the extra mix for that, and then we've got bacon and stuff ready. And I'm also excited to have some creamies ready for desserts for the week. That wraps up today's video. I hope you guys found it helpful and maybe got some inspiration to do some cleaning and ingredient prepping of your own. If you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.